We actually just recently came into that gong, and we've been sort of abusing it. We've also learned that you can throw things at it from across the room, so if you really need people's attention unexpectedly, and you feel really good with it. So hi guys. So I'm Noah Isserman. I am a part of the iVenture Accelerator team, and I'm on faculty in social work and business. But most importantly, welcome to the inaugural Chicago Demo Day, the Entrepreneurship at Illinois iVenture Accelerator with our awesome team. So let's just clap for them just for this. So we have 33 students here, and one of the things you probably will have noticed as you sort of came in and saw their demos is this is a really diverse and interesting group of people, right? They range from rising sophomores who are 19 years old to MD PhDs. They're working on all sorts of things. They come from 7 colleges. So they really represent a lot of what the University of Illinois is, a significant part of the sort of massive breadth of the institution. And we're just very, very happy to be able to kick this off here. And I wanted to sort of start on sort of this happy, grateful note that this is the very first time that we have done this, right? And this started as sort of like a hypothesis 8 months ago. And what you're going to see here is just the tremendous speed with which both the university, like shockingly for being, a $4 or $5 billion a year operation, has sort of moved with partners all across campus to support work that creates social and cultural and commercial value. And that our students are just this wonderful set of testaments to that, and they're the point of all of this. So we'll get to them very, very quickly. But just to say that, we put 0 hours into this 8 months ago, and now what you're going to see is an intermediary set of milestones, because we're 9 weeks into this program. So all of the teams in this accelerator have 39 weeks to go. So they've gone full-time over the summer on this, and then they'll have continued support throughout the school year until next May. And so there are 14,000 man-hours in now. So you'll see some really cool stuff here. And all of this has sort of been supported by a really remarkably, again, broad group of people from campus. I just want to highlight 2 of the people who are here. So if you want to, after this, talk to people from the university, 2 of the absolutely core members of the committee on the faculty and staff side. John, are you here right now? So John Corton in the back there is the director of the Academy for Entrepreneurial Leadership in the College of Business, and also of the Health Technology and Management program. So he's a really good guy to talk to afterwards if you're interested in those things. John is fantastic. And then the other person here is Stephanie Larson, also fantastic, who is from the Technology Entrepreneur Center in the College of Engineering, where she runs student programs and marketing. So those are people you want to talk to. And that to help make this possible, so it was about exactly 15 units from across campus who did that, including 4 colleges and a tremendous number of partners outside of that, including groups like Residential Life, who you wouldn't necessarily think of as being involved in programs like this. So it's been a really massive team effort, and we're really proud of that team. We'll introduce 2 core members of the team who have actually been working full-time with the students in the accelerator space all summer. So that Ryan Singh and Esteban Gast will actually be your hosts for the day. So Ryan is the manager of social innovation at Illinois, and Esteban is a lecturer in engineering and creativity. They're both awesome, fun individuals, and really have been sort of the heart and the muscle of this program throughout. And so everything you see, every team will have worked with them almost daily for the last 9 weeks. So gentlemen, kick us off. Excited to see this.
All right.
Thank you everyone for coming. All right, well, thank you everyone so much for coming. We just had Demo Day at Enterprise Works on Tuesday. Packed the house, we had about 100 people. And if you're familiar with that atrium, 100 people in that atrium is a ton of people. So that was really cool. But we're really excited to come up here to Chicago today to really connect our students and their work with the great sort of vast network of alumni, connections, and resources that we have up here. So we've had people in this room serve as coaches and advisors to our teams, but we've also had interest from community leaders, business leaders, people that are connected to the UVI ecosystem to come here and support our students today. And so Esteban and I are the coordinators, and what that means is that we've been on the ground with the students for the last 9 weeks now, and they've gone by super fast. We've gotten to see all the progress that these teams have been making as they're working on nonprofits and firms and mobile apps and hardware technology to create social, commercial, and cultural value. And we both feel super blessed to be part of this, and just want to thank everyone that's here for coming today.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're gonna hear a lot about us, and we want to find out a little bit about you, just to kind of find out who's in the crowd. So raise your hand if you are an Illinois alum. That's great, that's awesome. Raise your hand if you're a current student. Let's do that. Any current students? So fellows, unsure of where your hands. Nice, some in the middle. Thank you for being here. Let's raise your hand if you're maybe part of the Chicago entrepreneurial ecosystem, sort of. Like that, you can raise your hand. You can raise your hand more than once. There's no rules to this. You can raise your hand as many times as you want. Actually, we're fact-checking all of this. And you, sir, you are. And then what else? Oh, family and friends, of course. Family and friends of the fellows. Raise your hand if you're. That is awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, all of you, for being here. This means a whole lot, especially randomly at 2 p.m. None of you have jobs. I think that's the conclusion. But thank you so much. It means a whole lot, especially these students have been working so hard and to showcase that to a group of family and friends and people plugged in the community out here. That makes that even more special. So thank you.
Absolutely. So we have a fun day planned for you guys today. We're going to kick it off with an hour and a half of pitching. So each of our teams has prepared a 5-minute presentation that they'll talk about their venture and their progress. And S1 will talk about booklets that are sitting on your chair that will be used during the presentation section. So from 2 to 3:30, we'll be doing presentations, and we'll follow that up from 3:30 to 5:30 with time out here in the lobby. We'll have food. Teams have set up demos on tables. They have prototypes, materials, tons of stories from the summer. So please engage, please work with them and talk to them and get to see what they're working on. So that's kind of the layout for the day.
Yeah, and that food is Lou Malnati's, so be sure to stick around. So we don't want, this is a demo day, this is a pitch event, but we don't want you to be passive participants, all right? So we're educators first, and we take any opportunity for it to be an educational opportunity. So what you have, you're sitting on it or you picked it up. It is this booklet, it says Demo Day Chicago, and if you open it up here, it kind of states a little bit about us, and then it's got all the startups in it. And then if you look, there's 15 of these, and there's 13 startups, has a startup feedback form. So there's a place for your name, your email, a connection, resources, questions, and feedback. Okay, so what we think, there's so many amazing people in this room that it would be a shame to waste that amount of talent and not engage with you, not ask you to be an active participant in today's event. So when startups are up here, write down their name, write down tips, advice, write down questions, any sort of thing. So afterwards, after the pitch event, there will be a demo event where you can, some of this you can convey and talk to them and shake hands. But if not, this is a great place to do that, or this is a great place to write that down so they have an email of someone interested. So please be sure to be doing that. That's really, really valuable. And from Tuesday's event, the students loved it. I mean, there's really valuable connections coming out of this.
Absolutely. And if you do have to leave early, please be sure to drop your booklet into, there's a sort of box with the Illini flag on it. You can't miss it. It's out in the lobby here.
Absolutely. So yes, questions.
Is this something that I tear off and give to them, or I drop this whole booklet in?
You can drop the whole booklet in the box.
And you tear off and give
Yeah,
it to
we can do the tearing.
Okay.
Absolutely. Great question.
All us. You are strictly for resources, connection, and advice. Yeah.
We want it to be as easy for you as possible.
Yeah.
Well, and you can keep the top couple pages as well. They're super
Yes.
for framing, and they list all the teams.
Absolutely. Any other questions? This is great. Questions?
Sweet. Well, thank you all again for joining us. And let's get a big warm welcome for our first team, chair drop.
Right. So we're a fourth of the way done, and we wanted to take a little bit of time and tell you more about the iVenture Accelerator. And my better half, Ryan, is going to talk about that.
Thanks, Esteban. So at the beginning, we talked a little bit about the set of supports that the Accelerator offers to these 13 student startups. And those are knowledge, access to funding, and then access to alumni and connections and resources. Right now, I'm going to talk about knowledge. So all of the teams were admitted with a concept, a prototype, traction, customers. So teams, all early stage, were in somewhat different levels of sort of progress. And what they really needed is sort of knowledge to sort of advance them in a number of different tracks. So we've been lucky enough to be able to offer workshops taught by esteemed faculty and experienced entrepreneurs in areas of customer development, lean startup, business strategy, from all the way to things like accounting, legal, and a number of different topics that are relevant to early stage startups. The way that we can do this is through sort of our vast alumni network, as well as the campus resources that we have. So we've plugged into tons of faculty, research park, and all of the programs associated with the Enterprise Works Incubator down there. But also, luckily, we've had this Chicago sort of hub and have been able to connect our teams to Chicago Tech Week, incubators, 1871, Matter, Catalyze Chicago, Inside Product Development, and Chicago Innovation Exchange, where students over breaks have access to space and the resources that are available through University of Chicago. So through the set of sort of knowledge that we provide our fellows, we've been really happy to see the progress that they've made just in 9 weeks. And we're going to continue to offer these workshops and sort of faculty interactions and interactions with alumni over the course of the next 10 months as the Accelerator continues on. So yeah.
All right.
All right, well, we're halfway through presentations, and you may have noticed that a lot of our teams have been traveling abroad to deploy product, have been building prototypes, purchasing research materials, and really working on creating realistic versions of their ventures that can grow and develop and scale. A big part of this is the funding that the iVenture Accelerator offers. So when we're conceiving this program, we realized a gap. We realized that many students at the University of Illinois luckily get access to awesome internships and really good research opportunities over the summer. But what they don't get is the incentive and the time and the space that they need to actually work on turning their own ideas into real things and that can change the world. So we give each student in this program a $2,500 stipend that covers living costs to remain on campus in the summer and get to have access to a co-working space that's available to them 24/7. This stipend really increases access to entrepreneurship to all students at the University of Illinois, regardless of their background or their financial situation. So really happy to be able to offer that to our university and its amazing students. The second piece of funding is the capacity fund. So each team gets access to up to $10,000 in funding that is there to sort of fund early stage prototyping, material supplies, marketing, things like incorporation and legal entity formation costs, and other sort of costs that they incur as they're turning their idea from an idea to something that changes the world. This capacity fund is dispersed by application only, so we only fund things that we recognize along with their coaches, advisors, and faculty contacts to be items that will give them capabilities that progress them towards sort of substantial milestones that everyone has agreed upon. This way, we really can maximize the sort of impact of the investments that we make through our capacity funding, and really also ensure that teams have some flexibility to be able to purchase things that they need for their ventures. And all of this financial support, this generous financial support, has been due to, in large part, to our 3 donors to the program. And those 3 donors are Steve Miller, Al Goldstein, and Eric Drout. And I know Al and Eric are here in the room today, so I do want to give them a round of applause for financial support.
We have 4 teams left, and wait 1 second, Make a Girl back by popular demand. Ryan Singh is going to talk a little bit about the accelerator, and then we'll get to Make a Girl.
So we talked about the knowledge that the accelerator provides to students. We talked about the funding that students receive. And the last thing that we want to talk about was the access to world-class alumni and resources that we provide to our students. Luckily, Illinois has over 150,000 living alumni here in Chicago, and many more current students, faculty, and staff down in Champaign-Urbana. And we've been able to utilize that pool of talent, expertise, and experience, and really apply that to have those people serve as coaches and advisors to our teams. So each team that you've heard from today has had a coach, at least one coach and advisor that's helped them along the way, help them figure out what milestones are going to hit, think about what things they need to purchase, figure out sort of what the next steps are, and then support them emotionally sort of throughout this whole process. It's very uncertain. So each team has coaches and advisors, but they also have access to resources. So for example, hardware-focused teams got one-on-one chats with Gary Dirac, who's the founder of TechMill, a prototyping and rapid fabrication lab down at U of I. And they also visited the Catalyze Chicago incubator that's focused on sort of making and hardware-focused startups. Another one, the last one that I'll talk about, is for teams that are interested in crowdfunding. We brought in the product manager. He was a product manager at Google.org previously and is currently does that same work at Kickstarter. And we also worked with Kate Drain from Indiegogo to talk about crowdfunding. So we're really trying to focus on thinking about what our students need and then utilizing our partners and our vast alumni network to source people that can sort of provide that subject matter expertise or experience that our teams really need to grow and scale.
All right, so we will be back to the fellows for more startups, and the next one is Maker Girl.
All right, well that wraps up our presentation portion, so let's get another round of applause for all 13. Didn't mention it is that these 13 teams represent 33 students, and these 33 students come from 7 different colleges and represent 24 majors and minors from across the university. I mean, in these 13 presentations, you've seen nonprofits, hardware startups, mobile apps, bionic hands, defense technology, and a whole slew of sort of ventures that are coming out of the university. And in these last 9 weeks, students have gotten to work on this full time and really sort of dedicate themselves to the progress that you saw here today. Those 9 weeks were just the first 9 weeks, though. We still have 10 months left in this accelerator, so as students go through courses and back into fall and spring semester, we still have plans to continue to support them, continue to fund their ventures, and continue to create communities like this one, where we invite alumni in the community to connect with our teams. What I want to say before we go into our demos and networking is that if any of these teams inspire you, if you feel like you have valuable expertise to share with these teams and you want to serve as a coach or advisor, please let me know. Myself, along with the rest of the committee, we're out here to make links and make these relationships happen. And then if you want to engage with the accelerator on a broader level, do a workshop on campus or up in Chicago, do a site visit of your startup or firm, we're more than happy to talk about that. And then finally, so as you've been you've been filling out booklets here today, and with your resources, connections, and advice, there's a bin, and I'll say it again, it's got a U of I flag on it, and it's out in the lobby here. Please make sure you drop those booklets in there when you leave.
Yeah, and that is it. So the next 2 hours or so will be the demo portion, and food is ready. So right when you walk out to the right, there will be some Lou Malnati's, and then our students will set up, and then, it'll be free time to talk, make connections. Feel free to talk to any of us on the committee. We'd love to tell you more about the accelerator. And thank you so much for coming. Again, it means a whole lot, and I'm sure for the students to showcase their work in front of such a supportive audience. So thank you for coming, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you.